the accumulation and enrichment of contaminants in organisms relative to that in the environment. Bioaccumulation is the net result of all uptake and loss processes, such as respiratory and dietary uptake and loss by ejections, passive diffusions, metabolisms, transfer to offspring and growth.
Process of bioaccumulation. Number 1. A toxin is dumped into a salty air. 2. Toxins attached to phytoplankton. 3. Phytoplankton eaten by small fish. The longer the biological half-life of a toxic substance, the greater the risk of the chronic poisoning, even if environmental levels of the toxin are not very high. Bioaccumulation, for example, in fish, can be predicted by models. Hypotheses for molecular size cutting criteria for use as bioaccumulation potential indicators are not supported by data. Biotransformation can strongly modify bioaccumulation of chemical in an organism.
The example of bioaccumulation result is the small fish take the resources such as metals from agriculture that go into aquatic resources, causing the fish to have a 3 ppm. And then the little fish is eaten by fish bigger than it, causing the fish to have a 7 ppm. When the fish is eaten by other fish, it have a 30 ppm compared to the private fish. And next, it is eaten by other fish, will have a 70 ppm.
The definitions of biomagnification. Biomagnification is the result of contaminant uptake from the diet to higher concentrations in the feeder than in the diet. Subsequently, biomagnification leads to increased chemical concentrations with higher trophic positions in the food web.
Biomagnification process is the process of following with substance raise up in the chains. First is toxic chemical and pollutant gets mixed up into the environment. Second is chemical and pollutant are consumed by a small plant called phytoplankton. The third is these small plants are consumed by a small marine animals called zooplankton. A fourth is zooplankton are consumed by a small fish. 5 is the bigger fish consume smaller fish. Lastly, the top organism of the food chains they consume.
The example of the result for biomagnification. Phytoplankton absorb polychlorinated biophenol, PCB. Zooplankton eat phytoplankton, which one of them have 2 parts per million mercury, ppm. After that, herring eat 2 zooplankton, which can compose 4 ppm mercury in their own body. Next, salmon eat 2 herring, which can accumulate 8 ppm mercury in their own body. The last one is orca whales, which is an apex predator. Eat 3 of the salmon and has 24 ppm mercury in its body. Because the amount of PCB become more and more concentrated at each trophic level, some of the ocean's apex predators are at risk of gaining potentially fatal level of PCB within their body. Thank you.